of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our Supreme and Master Speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erizu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Azuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Lily Black, Bob CC, Mikta Rabentau, Edwin, Arcadia Lunashine, Anathus Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Camille Grinno, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Suno Chicano, Celestau Notrell, Lazy Boy, A Wild Sarah, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Stormarrow, Tex, Kai Lynn, Arthur Law, Biridan Derard, Signpup, Spencer Christmas, Noy Fafnir, Chester Saltiri, Celine DeLuden, Bobs the Wolf, Severa, Circuit Barrackeel, AJ Brainswordson, Kazran, and Nat Clay. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Eorzeans. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 342. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mail of Anadar, and Rollo Des. Hello. It's March 18th, 2023, and today we're going to talk about the FanFest tickets. It'll be an interesting discussion. And in the great discussion, we'll be talking about keeping old content alive, which we may have discussed before a long time ago, but it is relevant yet again, so we will talk about it again. Also, we'll be reading MogMail, believe it or not. I thought we weren't, but we do. We are going to read MogMail today, speakersofv.com/MogMail. I'll stay tuned for the post show. We'll be answering questions from the syndicate. I do have to say in channel updates that our website has been down for a bit. I brought it.
How many times?
I think this could be the third time I think that we've had like a big issue like this. It is up again now, but it is very incomplete. But MogMail works, so you can use the MogMail function and send us MogMail. Yep, that's that. Also, I wanted to mention, so there's some updates for the upcoming content on the channel. So for Fall and Rise, episode 12, I have decided to hold it back because I am going to make that the last episode of Fall and Rise. So, yeah. I am so burnt out on that series that when I sat down, I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm just, it is over for this. So, but because it's going to be the last episode of Fall and Rise, it's going to be covering the entire life cycle of Heavensward. So the whole thing, that will be the last episode of Fall and Rise until whenever I decide to bring it back up again. Maybe I will do like periodically, I'll just do each expansion, like have expansion episodes instead. Because as it is right now, it's essentially just turned into episodes chronicling patches, which is not really what I wanted. So I tried to finish the 12th episode, but it was just like, what am I doing?
You're not feeling it. That's
yeah. So I started working on Roar instead. So there are 3 Roar episodes that are coming up. Roar is way more fun to make, so that'll be out eventually. I'm not going to give dates because that curses me.
Because for a while it wasn't.
Yeah, but it's been so long now. I haven't made a Roar episode since 2018, I think. So
What the hell?
Yeah,
Really? God,
it's been
I
a
thought it was
long.
like 2020 at the latest, but
Yeah, maybe it's 2019. I don't remember, but it's a long time ago. So, yes, that is what's in the works right now. Oh, nope, I'm not going to say anything. All right, move on. Let's get into recent events. And in recent events, first, there's a live letter coming up.
Whoa.
Yay!
March 31st. that is the date. We'll be getting some information about patch 6.4. This will be part 1, which means we're probably just going to get, the teasers and not anything. We're not going to see anything.
We'll get
9.4
names.
though.
We'll
That's
get
crazy.
names. Yeah.
Like we're getting closer and closer to it being like the next expansion kind of cycle.
Yeah.
We're gonna be getting job
Mhm.
trailers, gonna be getting story trailers,
Mhm.
getting
I mean, that's
speed
going to be
dressing
at
up.
FanFest.
Yeah.
FanFest
Yeah.
is 3 months away.
Oh, I
Oh.
should say I'm not going to the NA Fan Fest.
Yeah, so-
I couldn't go with a friend.
Yeah.
Which is fine because it's too fucking hot in Vegas anyway. In July.
Yeah.
Who thought this was a good idea?
It's true.
Yeah, the live letter. Sorry, I didn't mention the time. 11 GMT, 12 BST, and then that's
that's
1
gonna be
p.m. Central European time, and then 10 Eastern Australia time or whatever.
10 p.m.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Sorry, 10 p.m. Okay. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else worth saying about that. It's a live letter. It's coming up.
Yeah. 6.4.
6.4.
Nothing we can really know to speculate
Feels
on.
like
I mean,
an
the
eternity.
storyline.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
does
that's
6.3 finish off? We killed the last of the 4 fiends. Remember when live letters used to have guests?
Yes. Yeah. I remember that. That's...
I kind of like how they've been doing them.
Yeah, I like it
if-
better the way it is
if
now.
I mean, I miss the whiteboard. I mean, I never really was around during that day, but I do like the idea of the whiteboard.
Yeah.
But I
whiteboard is
feel
nice.
like having a guest on muddles what they're really going for. Like when they had Wine Man on,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, they're just old men talking for like 4 hours.
We should cut them some slack there. That was during the 14-hour stream, the anniversary broadcast.
Either way, though.
So Yoshi P was already a little,
Just Yoshi P, Foxclon, just the 2 boys, just getting out there.
Maybe have Soken pop in every now and then.
Yeah, that would be fine. Even if Koji Fox is in town, you can join him.
Yeah.
I mean, he is in town. I don't think he's not in Tokyo.
Right.
Yeah, he might be away. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we killed all the 4 lords, but we've not killed big man
Golbez.
Golbez. So presumably Golbez is either going to be destroyed this expansion or within the next 2. Sorry, this patch or with the next 2 patches, or he's going to become a long-term goal.
Yeah.
Which I doubt.
I wouldn't be upset with Golbez being defeated in 6.4 because that gives us like the longevity of the Warriors of Darkness arc during Heaven's Wind, which is all right.
Yeah. I don't mind getting rid of him because he's not done anything of value.
Right.
He's been around for like 3 patches, and
I mean, he still has very vague goals.
Yeah,
but from what
I feel like he tried to invade, and then we stopped it immediately.
Yeah. From what I remember, this is not going to be the pivot patch, right?
No, the yen.
No.
Yeah, 6.5 is
6.5.
Yeah, but we might get some hints.
But it could also just conclude this storyline, and then we just at this essentially where we were at the end of Endwalker.
Yeah.
Newfound adventure is no longer ongoing.
Okay, so there you go. Again, Friday the 31st, even, not 1st. That's an actor. 31st of March, 11 GMT, 12 BST. This is in AM. Well, 12 is PM. And 10 PM Australia, Eastern. Okay, moving on. Eorzea, the Eorzea Academy manga is now translated, I think, to English.
It's not translated yet. It will be released in English. It'll have an English manga release in September of this year.
Okay, September. Yes.
We definitely have not been reading it
Yeah.
any other way.
Finally, we can
Being
enjoy
posted to
this.
official subreddits.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully when I'm in London, Rollo, they'll be selling physical copies at the FanFest, and I can buy it there.
Yeah.
Then you can
enjoy
experience
all
it
of
for the
it.
first time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All that plot
all that plot.
It's gonna be good.
I know this was the more popular April Fool's thing. I do kind of hope they do the mecha one that was like Evangelion-esque.
Oh yeah.
Not with the weird twin incest thing.
Oh yeah, no.
Not with that part.
No, not that
Make
part.
a manga about
Just
that.
do it about the G warrior, whatever it's
I
called.
mean, this Rollo, this one still has like also he's a cis
I
in
know.
it.
I know. I pretend to not see it.
Mm.
I read a few chapters of it. I don't know where it goes in the end, but it didn't. It
There's
didn't have
only
much
like
to it.
5 or 6 chapters. It's not long.
No, well, it was. I mean, it's like a nice collector's item, I think, but I don't think it's
That's kind of why I want it.
actually that.
Not
good.
necessarily. No, not necessarily for its like riveting and innovative storyline.
Yeah. But,
It's
you know, good.
essentially a gag manga.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It had just some funny bits, but it's not. Yeah.
Oh,
Hopefully
wait,
it's not expensive.
Yeah.
Am I quiet still?
No,
for
no,
everybody?
no. I fixed it.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay. That's the manga coming out again. September.
Speaking of physical releases, do you think they'll have the lore book available for purchase by NA FanFest? The third
The
one?
third one.
They will probably
Oh.
announce it during the live letter if they will. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's going to be good.
yeah. We know
So I
it's.
think that would be a very good timing if they're able to manage that.
Yeah. I don't.
I imagine they've been working on it for quite a while now.
They have been working on it for
Yeah.
a while, but we haven't really heard much more. Well, we did actually see the cover for it, didn't we?
We
Yeah,
did.
it was. Was it purple?
Yeah, I think it was purple. So
It looked nice.
yeah, it did.
Or was it like a it was like a bluey color maybe?
Bluish purple.
I think it,
Was that what it
Yeah.
was? I don't remember. It was bluish. I think.
Cats is a different color.
Something. It was
Alright.
dark
Well,
red.
no idea. No, the second one was red.
The second one was red. That is
The first
Stormblood.
one was brown. The second one was red. The new one.
That's not red. What? Are
What do you mean red?
you talking about the second lore book?
The second lore book is like
The
reddish.
second
Red.
law book
It's a
is
shade of
reddish.
red.
It's
Yeah.
like
Are you saying it's like maroon or something?
it's just like a brighter orange. I don't know.
It's not orange.
It's like
Rollo,
a
look why you
orangey brown.
started, dude.
I got
I
it.
looked it up. It's kind of like a grey bluey color. That is red.
That's red.
It's like okay. I think
Orange is a type of red.
it's
Just
like
deal with it.
No, it's not.
it's
same
like
color.
orangey red. It's
Yeah.
got a little bit of both in there. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, what are we talking about?
Looking forward to it anyway. Yes, it's kind of like
The
a fresh
manga.
one. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Live reading. Here,
Yes.
Next week. Watch out.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Okay.
I'll be Xenos.
Oh. Okay. So the Final Fantasy XIV orchestra concert. They've announced the times for this, which
Now
will
remember, this is separate, so
coincide
you
with
cannot guarantee if you're going to FanFest, you'll be able to go to this
no.
event, or if you go to maybe you'll just go for this instead.
Mm-hmm. We are pleased to announce that the Final Fantasy XIV orchestra concert Eorzean Symphony is heading to Las Vegas, Nevada in July and London, UK in October. Enjoy select tracks from Final Fantasy XIV's expansive collection performed live by a full orchestra. Come, brave warriors.
Wow.
Step into a realm of music. So for LV, as it's known, Las
LV?
Vegas, the theater. And I found this to be this is the most appropriate hotel, I think.
most appropriate hotel for Final Fantasy 14 players.
Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas.
Get wrecked.
The doors open 1:30 p.m. With performances starting at 2:30 p.m. PDT. There's also the second, or there's two
Yeah,
concerts
two
per day.
performances a day.
And then 6:30 p.m. with a performance at 7:30 p.m. Guests are producer and director Naoki Yoshida, sound director Masayoshi Soken, Amanda Aiken, Jason Charles Miller. Those are the guests.
Poggers. All of the main people.
Yeah. Ticket sales start March 19th. That's tomorrow
Never
if you're
forget
watching live.
Susan.
Is Susan Boyle here?
Away.
Yes.
I know. I just
Yeah,
thought it was
Susan
fun.
Boyle's joining in.
Special guest Susan Boyle.
Stubo.
Hope you're all ready for a sus anal bum party.
Yeah, Sunday, March 19th. So if you're watching live, that's tomorrow at 12 p.m. PDT through AXS. That's the vendor. Axis. For London, UK, the location is what is this name? Eventum. The Apollo, yeah.
This is quite wild because I don't know how Las Vegas is set out. I'm not a Las Vegas person.
Miserable.
The XL Convention Center and the Apollo are incredibly far apart.
Well, Mela, sometimes you forget that London has like the
I
best
know
transit
you can go on the
system
underground,
in the
but
world.
it's just people are going to be having like a hotel near the XL, and then they're going to have to travel like miles into central London.
Yeah, London is big.
How far is miles? Like,
Yeah,
ages.
Because Mela always views it as like he should be able to walk because he doesn't want to take the tube.
You don't want to be on the underground.
He's afraid of the tube because they'll mug you.
Why is she just right up?
Mela is literally an old woman. Like,
is it less than an hour by underground?
I don't know, maybe about an hour.
That's fine.
That's not
I
bad.
know people that have to travel via the trains for an hour to get to university here, Mela.
An hour
Yeah,
by
but-
the tube with a tube.
Oh, I don't know how long. I
Listen.
don't look at the time. It's just fairly far apart.
I need someone who's not Mela who lives maybe in London that
Any
could
other
give us
British
an actual
people?
estimate and not say miles and that we shouldn't take the underground because we'll get mugged and killed and worse.
Anyone with a city sense, please.
Yeah, this doesn't sound right.
It's 52 minutes
Via the underground.
by
That's
underground with
reasonable.
2 changes.
Okay.
That's very reasonable, Mela.
That's
Yeah.
not reasonable.
I mean,
Yes,
XL.
it is.
Well,
It's
XL. I will say
unreasonable.
that the XL seems to be in a very weird spot. I think XL is
Yes,
the
they're,
problem, not
yeah.
the rest. Yeah. Because it's using I think the underground line that's connecting to that part of London is new as well. So
It's
know
the
it's
new
like
Elizabeth line.
yeah. Anyways, on the Apollo, Monday, October 23rd, 2023, doors open at 7. With performance starting at
Huh.
what?
Only one performance.
Doors open
Yeah,
at
in London.
7 p.m. GMT. Oh, all right, I see. Okay, sorry. It's not formatted like the Las Vegas one.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I know it's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah, and then performance at 8 p.m. GMT. There's only one performance. The guests, Naoki Yoshida, Masayoshi
same.
Soken. Yeah, it's the same people. So, ticket sales start March 31st at 6 p.m. GMT, 9 p.m. BST, which for some reason is listed even though no one is using that time zone. That is not observed
Yeah,
right
but
now.
by the time it goes, when do we change to BST?
Oh, that's actually then, isn't it? It's no, it's tomorrow. No, it's next week. Next Sunday.
26th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
I
will have changed
love
by then.
daylight savings. I love that Rollo was already confused about them before today's
Yeah,
stream,
yeah.
and now you're being confused about thinking about them in the future.
Yeah.
Just whatever. I'll just call me.
Yeah.
Here's my number.
When it's ready.
The vendor for this is Eventum. I guess that's the Apollo ticket. No, it's just the owner. Why is it? I'm very confused. But it's on the website. It's on the lodestone. There will be more details to share as we get closer to the event, so be sure to stay tuned. So there you go. That's the concert. I'm sure some people are hyped for that. Let's talk about FanFest. The tickets specifically.
For the EU, right?
Well, we'll first start with the
we should
NA
talk-
one.
Let's start with NA.
NA general sales opened a few days ago now. Well, almost a week ago now. And it sold out in less than an hour.
About 40 minutes, I believe, is what I've heard.
Longer than I expected,
I
I'll
don't.
say.
Well, no, I
Yes.
don't think it's. Did it sell out in 40 minutes, or did it become it such that you couldn't put any tickets in your basket after 40 minutes?
Well, people got kicked from the
Because they-
queue at that point.
Yeah.
After
Presumably it was all the tickets have been reserved
Yeah.
for purchase, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything
All
from
were
20
in
to 40
checkouts
minutes.
at 20 minutes
Yeah.
and then sold out in 40. Okay.
Yeah.
It was very, very sad to watch in real time in our Discord.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that happened. The tickets are sold out.
It's over.
It's over. So if you don't have a
you're in,
ticket,
you're in, and if you don't, you're not.
yeah.
Don't fall for the people that are selling them that are trying to like.
Oh yeah, the
what's it called
scalpers.
again?
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
D-
don't fall for the
Let
scalpers.
them just sit there with their tickets.
Well, I don't think you can sell. I don't think you can use them.
No, because do you not have to?
You need to like
I'm
have
pretty
your
sure-
character.
Can't you? You can buy a ticket for yourself, right? But that one's tied to your like ID or whatever.
Well, I think both of them
Then-
are. I think you
Oh,
have to
both of
enter
them
with.
are.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
you need to be with the person that bought it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They have your ID name on them. Yeah. So you can't sell them. So it's very odd. I don't know how is the scalper gonna come with you?
Yeah. They'll be selling his
What are the
power, but he wants to
logistics?
go.
Yeah.
You know, a friend that wants to meet up with you, maybe do that. I wouldn't trust
Yeah.
a random internet person though.
No.
No.
For £1,000, we're going to enjoy FanFest together.
Right.
For £1,000, you get to spend 2 days with a sweaty, stinky person that
Yeah.
was using all 6 of their computers to try and get onto the online store at the same time just to get 2 tickets.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
times.
the EU one. Now there was already some worry before the EU lottery started because we started looking into the venue.
I remember the NA one. We were already concerned that it was quite small for a big FanFest.
But it was still a lot bigger
Oh,
than what we found out about. Because I think 15K is what we assumed for
15K is for Vegas.
for
as far as
Vegas.
I'm aware.
Yeah. And then we did some looking. We looked into Excel,
Mhm.
and their largest convention space, or that could hold like one. We know that the center is sold out for Comic-Con as well. The Comic-Con will be happening the same weekend, so they have a huge part of Excel already. The biggest I don't even know what it's called. Auditorium, I think, was what they called it, which has the most seating places in the center. Can hold 3,800 people, tops. So that's the biggest room. And then the lottery started, and I thought, well, maybe there might still be bigger. Maybe there's more. There's more to this.
There's always outdoors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, they'll have something else. Oh boy. That lottery was small, and they did the coolest
it was so
thing.
big because it was over 2 days.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. So they decided to do the general sales for NA and the lottery on the same day.
Yeah, the results.
The results for the lottery. And I don't know if that's why it got fucked up, or if whoever's like in charge of the tickets just fucked up somehow. But
yeah, one of the new interns.
First of all, it wasn't really properly announced when the tickets went out. And then when they did, they're like, oh, there will be more emails coming out tomorrow. And then on the day, they'll be like, oh, here is the time, by the way, for that, which was like 4 or 6 hours before it was a mess. I don't know how they fucked that up. Why did the NA one go so smoothly, but the EU one was like fucked?
Yeah.
But when the second wave came, which was again not announced on the Twitter. Meanwhile, they were just not shit posting. They were posting other things on their Twitter while people were waiting.
They did announce beforehand when the second set of emails.
They
would come
did,
out.
but there was no confirm. Like it felt like it was just sort of because there were so few tickets. That's the point. Very few people reported that they had tickets. The second round, very small batch. Clearly,
Yes. Like the last 10.
I mean, I didn't get a sense for how big either round was, to be honest.
Well, no, they were small compared to the NA one.
Well, yeah.
Very small. And the second one, it was by far the smallest. It felt like they just had some, I don't know. I don't even know why they had a second one. It's a mystery.
Because they didn't, the mystery is why they split it over 2 days, not why.
Yeah. So there you are. It makes me wonder if there's even going to be a general sale. If 3.8K is the capacity, then I don't know. We'll see. I feel like the asterisk that they had for like there may not be a general sale was meant specifically for EU at this point, but we will see. There's not been an announcement yet. We will get
there
one.
has to be. I can guarantee you that not every single person that got an email bought 2 tickets. If you got an email, which I did, there's this thingy that you can mouse over, and it throws confetti all over your screen.
Yeah,
which I didn't realize was a feature.
That's nice.
Georgi got a ticket. So
Yes, we need to go through this now.
I got an email for a ticket. I haven't bought
Georgi has
anything
got an email. So
Yeah.
Georgi has a ticket.
Georgi's
if he
going.
chooses to purchase one.
Yeah.
yet. I mean, I will.
Nobody else has one.
No. Which, I mean, is good news if you're watching this live, because that means that there will be a live coverage, probably, of all of the
And if
FanFest.
you're going,
They don't
you
even
get
want to
harassed
try
Yogi.
to buy tickets.
Nope.
They don't.
I doubt there even will be a proper general sale, but we'll see.
No.
So
I
you
don't-
think everybody bought a ticket that got
Well,
emailed.
No, he thinks everyone will buy 2 tickets, Rollo.
Hmm.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't. Think
We will see.
I think
This-
that is absurd.
We will see.
Well, me and Georgi
I
are
can
going to
see-
try.
I mean-
I would say.
I mean, yes. I mean, Lakil, think about all the people that you heard from the NA Fan Fest that chose not to buy the pre-sale tickets because they didn't get in with their FCs.
Rollo.
Imagine how many. No, that wasn't why Rollo didn't choose to buy NA tickets. Imagine how many, if these tickets are as exclusive as you claim they are, imagine how many more people are choosing not to buy this pre-sale period.
But they'll.
Look, we'll see what happens.
We will see what
'cause
happens.
we
That's
can't
what I'll
fathom it
say.
right now.
Tickets, we'll see what happens. But I
We'll see what
don't care
happens.
either way. I will say this again. I care so little if I'm there in person or if I'm covering it live. I'm just as fine being here.
My heart has been broken enough times.
Yeah, I don't care. Okay. Anyways, that is FanFest. Congratulations to the one that
See you
got
there anyway.
tickets. And sorry to those that didn't.
Yeah.
Such is
Remember
life.
Speakers Fest.
Yeah. Speakers Fest.
Speakers
Yeah.
Fest, hold at your
Speakers Fest
local.
on the cruise ship or whatever.
Yeah.
So-
Well, yeah. We've already planned. Yeah, we're going on a cruise instead. So.
We're gonna have a cheeky Nando's together. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could have
Uh,
a cheeky Nando's and then
yeah.
even a Taco Bell because they exist in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna jump into some MogMail. So let's do that.
MogMail.
Oh, I cut off the Moogle. This is from a rare beast from Besaid. Dearest speakers
No.
of Semi-Dare Heidelin. What do you mean, Mela?
Besaid?
It's a data center. There was when I set up the old MogMail or the new MogMail, it said DC instead of a server. That has been changed. Okay. Dearest speakers of Where's Besaid?
I don't think it's
It
real.
doesn't exist. It's
Oh.
from Final Fantasy X.
Oh, beast! How dare you? I mean, it could be. To me, this could have been a JP data
Yeah,
center.
it could have been, but I was just thinking, no, that can't. That's not a state. That's
It
not a server.
existed. No, yeah. So it's a 1.0 server.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is
Okay,
it?
there we
What
go.
the hell?
Balmung, yeah, it's what
Balmung
used to be.
Besaid.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, there
oh
we
my
go.
God.
I knew there was
Besaid
something
is
there.
a bad name for a server.
Dearest speakers of Semi-Dare Heidelin, I know we're all eager to move on to the newest drama that's undoubtedly sparked in the one day since I wrote this, but I want to address the recent events as an unofficial Lalafell
Lalafell.
role-playing correspondent reporting from the field. Most races in Eorzea have their own stereotypes and tropes, but Lalafell are on the receiving end of some particular vitriol that I don't know if everyone's entirely conscious of. I have a player refuse to interact with me in any form because to them, all Lalafell players are P-word. As a role player, I have been ignored in my own house by others for being a little fella. It is extremely common to look in someone's search info to see kill all Lalafell or kill order Lalafell or Lalafell punter or the like. People are very open to saying kill/remove all Lalafell or sacrifice Lalafell for XY purposes. I have considered fantasiaing several times, just because of how much some folks hate the little guys, in-game and out. With all that said, the greatest crime of the chair is being made of undyeable white wood. Who's that for?
I agree with that.
I agree with that. On to the reason for writing. How weak of a constitution must one have to die from doing the little ladies dance? Oh, okay.
You have to be an IBS girly. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Oh,
That-
bring them back.
No, you can't keep
No.
bringing up IBS girlies.
No,
I
no.
You're not even an official member anymore.
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
say
I do agree with. I think the chair should have been like pale color and then darker color, and like it just dies based on when.
you know that I care so little about that chair because I didn't realize until after we'd done that episode that it isn't even like a baby chair. I thought
No,
it
it's
had.
not. It's
I
just a
thought it
tall
had the
chair.
little.
A
No,
lot
it's
of
just a
people,
chair.
Yeah, because that's how it was presented.
No. It's just a chair.
It's
that's
just a
tall.
chair with a short back,
Yeah,
and
it's like a stool almost with a back.
yeah. So that made it even stranger to me, the backlash.
Yeah.
But the color is really
In
ugly.
regard-
The fact that the white cannot be dyed. Why?
Yeah, that's
That's the
hideous.
bad part.
In regards to what Beast has had to say about Lalafell specifically, the kinds of people you're describing are like so like not worth thinking about, because the reason they're probably like dismissing you is because they're the kinds of people that they're claiming that Lalafell players are.
Yes.
Yes,
yeah, that's true.
potentially.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
just
I
ignore them.
I can definitely sympathize with that, and that like people going too far with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing I see people do in tons of games and all that.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
sympathy there. I do think with the chair though, it's like weirdly directed at Square Enix when it doesn't feel justified again, because again it was
Yeah, I
just-
agree.
yeah.
the
Mhm.
infantilizing stuff was just a description text joke and like,
Yeah.
one or
The game is
couple
full of
items.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as the player base, I mean, hey, I fully believe it if you're getting harassed for being a Lalafell, and they shouldn't do that.
People
you know,
suck.
yeah.
So yeah, that is. I mean, I don't know if it's reportable, but just block them. I guess.
Depends
I mean,
what they say.
I think to an extent you can.
If it's
like-
really bad,
if it's like-
report them.
yeah.
Otherwise, block them. But
how can you
you know, we're
feel
on the
so
internet.
strongly about like
A fictional
a
race.
fictional race?
yeah, you aren't your character. You can enjoy looking at your character and thinking I'm a cool
Yeah.
small person running around. That's fun.
Yeah.
Well, also, you
But
aren't your
people's
character,
opinions.
and other people shouldn't perceive you as that either.
Yeah,
Right.
people's opinions on your fictional race have no bearing on you as a person.
No. No.
We'll say though, I've seen some weird shit directed at people for things that are closer to real life, like skin color in game,
Mm.
and that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having
Mm.
fucking weird in game, like
Yeah. Yep. Let's
I've
not
had a
go.
person.
Yeah. Okay. Go on, Rollo. But don't.
I was just.
Let's not
I've-
fall too deeply into this.
It's not even too bad. Just like ooh, your character's like dark chocolate, like that kind of like.
okay. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
Don't say that. Don't.
Yeah, don't
say
say
that. in real
that.
life either.
Yeah.
I mean, don't say that to real people either.
No.
Yeah,
I mean.
it's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
But people still,
Yeah.
they don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. There are so many good Lalafell characters in this game that
Yeah,
I will always. I know that Papa Limo is difficult to stomach for some, but Papa Limo is like he became one of my favorite 14 characters. Of all time at the time, when he
Try and
died.
list a character
It
who
is like
would
death
do more
arc.
for the party.
Yeah.
Graha.
You can't. No, Graha would only do it for you though.
Yeah.
Whereas
He
Papa
didn't.
Limo
He
will do it for the
sacrificed
world.
himself for an entire world.
No.
Graha would. Graha
No,
is
no,
just a simp.
no. Papa Limo did. Only Papa
Limo is
Limo.
way better.
Yeah, again, the story and the narrative and the dialogue, like really, like it treats Lalafells like they're adults. like,
Yes.
'cause
People-
they are,
They're
Because
just
they
part of
are.
the world.
Yeah.
and it's not just like
And there's
haha
all
funny.
types of Lalafells. There's the creepy Lalafells, like the one who stalks
Nashu.
Oh yeah,
Nashu.
Nashu. Yeah.
There's the evil Lalafells like Lolarito.
Mm-hmm.
There are the beautiful Lalafells like Pippin, who are just hearts of
Oh,
gold
yeah,
and like
yeah.
Papalimo and stuff. There's all sorts.
I
It's a
didn't think you were gonna say
smorgasbord of
Pippin.
Lalafells. Okay? Every kind of person is represented,
Yeah.
or like every archetype of character is represented
Just like all
quite
the
well
other
through
races.
Lalafells.
Not if you're a Duskwite,
Some-
though.
No.
No, some races actually get almost no representation within the lore. You can be a character that, like, there's only 2 of you in existence lore-wise.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. That is sad.
I feel like
I
that
wish-
needs to be talked about more than Lalafells getting kicked sometimes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I do wish that they gave a separate model to child Lalafells, because I personally can't tell them apart. But they seem to be
Yeah.
able to in universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Because they would
There's
have to.
only
They would
small
have to
humans
make
and smaller
something
protein,
that's smaller
Something
than a
even
Lalafell.
smaller.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, Tarataro are smaller than Lalafell.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, I guess they could
And
use like.
they'd be very cute if baby Lalafell looked like Tarataro.
Yeah.
Is there not a way for them to just scale the model down by like 75%? Surely there is.
I don't think that would look
I
very
don't know.
nice. Have you seen the
No.
scaled down humans in like? You played
Oh, yeah,
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
You don't want that. Okay. Anyways, how weak of a constitution must one have to die from the little lady's dance? Which is a funny question because the dance
Leave
is.
her alone.
I mean, to be fair, she
she's
would.
she's on death's door constantly. She's a really interesting character, but she's also incredibly useless.
Yeah.
She's just got those Habsburg genes, you know? Like,
Yeah.
she's fucking,
Too
the swift
royal.
breeze will kill them. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's that. Thank you. Beast. We'll
From Beset.
yeah, from the set. Next, MogMail is from Cyanir, who couldn't even be bothered to add
What the hell's Zion?
server or data center. Good evening, speakers. I will stoke the fires of the Blitzball memes once again. The devs know people want it in some way, and last they talked about it, we're joking around a bit as well. During these Manderville quests, we've been having a lot of Blitzball animations, just 1-to-1 from 10. The first time, I think during 6.1, I was still thinking it was just a coincidence, but this new patch alone gave us 2 eject shot animations back to back. And that's not even counting bouncing the ball between players before the real shot. I think Blitzball is not coming, and this is just jokes in good faith, but what do you think? Are they reusing these sometimes iconic animations for a reason, or they'll just leave it to the Manderville silliness? Keep up the good work. Bye. Well, yeah, I noticed that too, and I thought,
So
once
I've
an
seen people
animation is
say-
in, was it just for this cutscene? But for the Manderville quest, there are a lot of unique animations that remain
there
in.
are.
Yeah. Go on.
So I've seen a lot of people say that it's like a Blitzball reference, and I
Yes.
didn't think it either. The first time in 6.1 or 6.2, whenever the first Manderville quest was of this expansion, I felt like both of them are references to just sports anime. Like the first one feels like something I specifically something I saw in Haikyuu, and then the second one is very much chat brings it up, is very much something like if you compare the two, there is an animation in Inazuma 11, which is a soccer anime, which is pretty much 1-for-1 with the flying kick you do on the ball in the most recent Manderville quest line.
Oh, okay. Sure.
it is
I
also-
have never watched that.
It
so
is also the same animation from 10.
yeah, it's the eject shot, right? The backward
So that would have been
spin.
based on a real thing from football.
And this is a
probably.
Final
It's
Fantasy
difficult to
game,
say.
so it makes
that's the thing,
sense. Uh,
It's hard to know where they're drawing the inspiration from.
yeah.
I don't think there's any chance of Blitzball being added there. I think it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
a
I
funny
agree.
cutscene.
do you remember when 14 was just so much open face with like teasing and references? Like,
Mm.
do you remember when they were just like, yeah, Red Mage has to come before Blue Mage,
Yeah.
like literally in just a fucking quest line.
Yeah.
We don't get that anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They play their cards close to their chests.
Yeah. I mean, everything doesn't have to be a reference, but this was a very specific move that 10 players would recognize as like a... I mean, we're playing a Final Fantasy game. It's the game of references. I mean, everything in this fucking game is a reference to a predecessor.
Yeah.
So
Like it or not.
would not be surprising if this was meant to be a... I mean, if you look at Eject Shot from 10, it's very difficult to not see the similarities. It's almost one-to-one. But yeah, again, I think that is all it is. I think it's just a reference, because if... I mean, you need way more than just Eject Shot animation to make a Blitzball game. And I don't know. I don't know why they would want to like blow that on the Manderville quest line as well to like reveal. It's just weird. All of that is weird. I think that's all it is. The Hildibrand quests have loads of unique animations that you only see in the Hildibrand quests. So I think that's all it is. I am still holding out hope for a Blitzball manager, but you know, I don't think
I
that's
would
gonna
like
happen.
that.
Yeah.
Or for them to use Hildibrand animations in the MSQ, like the one where he's falling and his lips are flapping all over the place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah. Okay, so
maybe Cryle could do that or something.
yeah, I'm still trying to think of like how they would do like a Blitzball manager in this game. I don't really understand.
I mean, it's easy. Launch in an Excel.
This might be a really reference no one really gets, but you ever play Kairosoft games?
Oh,
Like,
If Kairosoft, that mobile developer, did like Donut Story and things like that.
yeah, they do like game dev story. They have
Okay.
like they have a ton of like
yeah.
sports manager ones,
Yeah.
which are like really simple, and I think could easily be kind of almost copied. I mean, you don't have to do, you know.
Yeah.
I agree.
But you can do like management in games.
You have your team, and you do, I don't know what you do in the management bit, but then you like send them away to the match, and then it's just like a venture or something.
Yeah.
Or you could just see like pre-animated cutscenes or something of the characters moving around or something.
Okay. Well,
But
thank
if
you.
they turn into a tactical RPG style, you know, really in depth. They could go for Minion on this and do like an actual whole genre game.
Yeah.
And blow our
Yeah,
minds.
I think they have the capacity for it. They have the skill and the.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Every time I think about Verminion, I'm blown away by how simultaneously amazing it is that they achieved that.
Yeah.
And how boring it is.
And what a waste it was.
Yeah,
it's
such a waste.
But
It's hack, but it's so clever and cool.
Yeah, and they were going so hard with the promo for that. Still remember the ads to this day. So many ads they made. Alas, it wasn't good enough. Okay, well, thank you to everyone sending in MogMail. Speaker6iv.com/MogMail. It should be fully functional again. So if you tried to submit a MogMail earlier this week and was met by either a maintenance screen or just nothing, it is up now, so you can send it now. Speaker6iv.com/MogMail. Oh shit, it's right. This has an intro, doesn't it? Okay, it's time for the great discussion. That's right. It's the great discussion, and today we are talking about or discussing how to keep old content alive, or just the concept of keeping old content alive, specifically for Final Fantasy XIV. I still have this like nagging feeling that we have discussed this, but I tend to like forget if we're discussing something on air or off air, and I've been assured by the others that if we have discussed it, is what was it, at least 100 episodes ago. So
or if we did, it might have been like a small, not like a full on dedicated thing to it.
We're an old podcast. At this point, we are bound to repeat something. You know, it has to happen at some point. Okay, so keeping old content alive, which is a big, continuous problem for MMOs, because as MMOs grow older, at least in 14. Well, we'll get to that, I guess. But in some MMOs, I will say, they move on. Like new content is added, old content is abandoned. It's left as it is, and then it's dead. how do we define? How do we how do you keep old content alive? That's what we're discussing now. So how do we start this? How do we attack
All right.
this?
I'm
Go on, Roland.
going to say something, and I think if you know what I'm talking about. And I think Mela knows, actually. I think the best example of making old content relevant or bringing it up to par is with Stellaris and their curator team, where every time they release a new expansion or DLC pack or whatever, there's like a dedicated team that goes back to older content specifically to like bring it up to par, make it more relevant with the recent mechanics added and all that. It's not the same, of course, to an MMO. Not saying that.
No.
But I think it's definitely, I think, worthwhile to have a team dedicated to bringing content or making content relevant and still like doable in some form. I think some of there's just so much stuff that is like one and done in 14.
Yeah,
like a lot of content is made to be consumed in the now and not in the future.
Yes.
Like Ishgard Restoration is just
that's a very recent abandoned system, I suppose. I just want to bring up the biggest eyesore for me is Guildhests, which they have also they've essentially told us that that's never going to be touched again.
Like that. I mean, I understand sometimes you have to cut your losses. You know, like
I
can kind of understand with Guildhests.
But it's
I think
weird.
a good example of what you mentioned in terms of why they should have up-to-date content like teams. Think about when like the item squish and job restructures happened, and some like when we were doing minimum eye level like Ifrit or something, I can't remember what duty was. It was pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
Because of the change they'd made, and they hadn't. I mean, I know it's an edge example, but all content should be doable still.
Okay.
I think approach this like you're a new player. Okay, you've just bought the game, and think about what you can do, and think about what's reasonably outside of your ability. So, one of the ones that I will say is a very obvious example of something you would very much struggle to do is old, synced Savage content.
Okay.
You would need a dedicated group for that.
Yes.
You would need a dedicated group for that. Is that something that needs to be kept alive? Synced content?
I think it should be accessible.
It should be acceptable, but there's a couple of things. I mean, first of all, from old Savage content, you will get irrelevant weapons. So you've already the player base that are raiding.
Right?
Yeah, they will never go in to get old content. So, but if you put relevant weapons into the old content, then maybe they won't play the new content because there's one of the old ones that it's easier.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, they almost did that with old content. Well, I think they did it pretty successfully with making the old raids relevant in a way with like Blue Mage, and making that. It's not the I would say perfect example, but I think it's still a really good example of like now fucking turn 7 or turn 8 or whatever is like it's a thing you can enjoy in a different form, and it gives some kind of relevant reward.
Yeah.
And chat brings up Unreals. Now,
okay.
Let me bring up our favorite competitive MMORPG.
Age of Wushu.
No, the Warcrafts. They have a system called time walking, where during like a week period or something, it will be Cataclysm time walking. So you can go and do old Cataclysm content, but you earn special tokens that you can spend in a store for like, glamour, mounts, whatever.
Yeah.
Old content, it's synced or like it's made scaled for your level or whatever. So you can experience it as it was, but get rewarded. It's like Unreal, but it's for multiple. It's not just. The trouble with Unreal is it's one trial for like an entire patch cycle.
Also, it goes away.
And it goes away.
Yeah.
Why is it a
Why
time
can't
thing?
you just have? Well, you can't go and do Unreal like Shiva anymore. They should all be available, and ideally, it
Yeah, I
should just
agree.
be a tick box system they can implement to scale the fight, and you can experience all of it and get modern tomestones.
Yeah,
and
I agree. I think adding one per patch because it takes a while to rebalance the fight is okay, but don't take them away. Just add to the
Yeah,
list.
Yeah.
take them
Like,
away.
Yeah.
I believe it that it's like more than just like changing some stats or whatever.
Right.
Like
That's fine.
sure,
Yeah.
I think it's more hands on, but why get rid of that work?
Never take
Yeah.
it away.
It's odd.
And like
Never.
to keep people doing the modern one, you can have the newest one give more rewards than the
Yes.
old ones.
Yes.
Or add in a roulette.
Yeah.
It's just I
Uh,
don't know why they have this policy. Or,
Yeah, that
or
is a
game
big issue with this game.
of like just making content and throwing it away right after, or just like not even keeping it on life support. Like I think it's cool that you can go back and you can still do Eureka in all its mostly glory. Same thing with Bosja, but you still have to like get into specific groups to do it, and you gotta join discords, and when you gotta start joining discord to do some shit, then you've lost me.
Stuff without Discord.
Yeah, you can't require the community to organize itself to do content that you made.
Yeah.
Like I think it's cool that the community's done that. That's great. I'm glad that it's there, but it being like them being like the curators of it, or like the only people who kind of maybe do some of the harder content or some of the more exclusive stuff in there. Whereas before you didn't really have to do that. Except say for Savage, for is it Delubrum Reginate?
Yeah, Delubrum Reginate
Yeah.
and the Dalriada Savage, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you can, and even doing Dalriada by yourself, it's possible. But
Yeah.
Castrum Lacus Latore, Delubrum Reginate, and the Dalriada are next to impossible
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
in the current form of the game.
yeah,
And
Right.
that's required content for some parts of the experience,
Mhm.
or at least some. I think Castrum and maybe Dalriada.
Yeah.
I don't
No, you need
remember.
to do Delubrum as part. If you're just wanting to
Oh,
even
sorry,
just
I'm thinking
experience
about
the relic.
what's the thing called in Eureka that gets Ozma?
The Baldessian
Baldessian.
Arsenal.
Valdesian
No,
Arsenal. That
no.
one 100% requires a Discord and a lot of
That absolutely-
That's
I think that
impossible now.
I would say
Well-
that required a Discord even back then.
And
you do have to organize
Yeah,
the set and that
but-
stuff, which is fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's like just what that type of content is. I think now I remember we have talked about this. This is specifically what we've talked about
Yeah.
before. Is like these
See, the
relic
issues-
zones.
The issue specifically with Castrum Lacus Latore, Delubrum Reginate, and the Dalriada is that for me, these are not pieces of Savage content. These are pieces of content that were designed for like the casual to mid-core
Yes.
player to be able to play whenever they wanted, and
Yeah.
now you cannot.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And it's sad too, because like I think Eureka and Bosja are worthwhile experiences to at least try out, but it's kind of just dead in the water.
Yeah.
And like why wouldn't you want to make some of your most interesting content like it more available, to people, or more
Yeah.
accessible and relevant? It's so weird just to be like, all right, this is the one for the expansion. That's it.
Mhm.
No
That
more.
is a big,
We'll
that is
we'll
a
maybe
big
do some like light adjustments to it like after, but you're not getting anything else. And I'm like, you're wasting really good content that you have.
Yeah.
You don't just
Yeah.
have to move on to the next and that's it. Like even with like Heaven on High and Palace of the Undead, I think they could really use like some touch-ups. Like personally, like they could use some small updates here and there. But they just don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think that's the issue is that people still do them, so it's not as necessary, and they probably don't feel the need.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
well,
but-
yeah, for Heaven on High and Pass.
Heaven on High, yeah,
For Eureka
Deep
and
Dungeon.
Bosja, people are doing them, but you could, like, in the old days, you could jump into Animus, and you knew it was a guarantee you would be able to join the train, you would be able to enjoy all the content, everything worked properly.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can't guarantee that. And
Yeah.
you cannot solo this content successfully.
It's gonna
Which
sound
is so hilarious in
It's-
hindsight, considering they said it was possible to solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eureka.
it's weird to say, but like Eureka lacks endgame content. Like
Yeah.
that's a way to keep it alive, because you go into Eureka, you get your relic, you're done essentially, unless you want the what was the other thing you could get in there? You could get the
The armor.
armor as well.
Yeah.
But the relic armor is very nice.
Yes, it's all
Like,
right. Yeah, it's yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool if, like, I don't know, for the next Lila, they're like, cool, hey, we're going back to Eureka. We're gonna bring it up to snuff to like how Bosja is, or Bosja,
Yes.
in terms of like quality of life adjustments, as well as maybe streamlining some of the relic stuff or whatever. Like, I mean, I guess you can maybe get modern tomes
Downscale
too.
some of the
Oh yeah, they
difficulty.
definitely they need to decrease some of the numbers for the relics.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Eureka.
Like,
They've made the Shadowbringer's relic like significantly more doable outside of the Delubrum Regine phase.
Yeah.
But Eureka relics are still really unpleasant to do if you
Yeah.
haven't done them before.
Yeah.
Like-
and people want to do this sort of content. I talk about it all the time, and every time it is said it cannot be done. But the one thing you can do in an MMO to keep people doing old content is collectible items. And what do we collect in this game? Glamour pieces. And why can't we collect all the glamour pieces? Because we have an 800 account. We don't have a glamour log. Okay, I know they're never going to have one because they suck.
Yeah.
But this is how you keep old content alive. You make it farmable for rare, unique things. In this game, there's not much that is rare and unique, but the armor pieces. If you tell me, if I told you, you know those really cool new sets in the dungeon, well, you can just farm it, and once you pick them up, you'll get them put in your glamour log, and you'll be able to collect all the appearances. You'd do it
Mm-hmm.
because they look cool, and it's not going to take your inventory space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is the biggest way.
They have 2 like pieces of content with like 4, like how many maps are there for Eureka? There's 5, 4?
Four.
And for Bosnia there's 2 or 3?
Yeah.
2.
Mhm.
Bosnia had the
Well,
southern front lines or whatever, and Zadnazor or whatever.
And they are
then
designed
Zadnaz.
as
Like a
open
dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
world zones.
Stupid.
They're just there. And I'm surprised that they're not, I think we've already said it, but like surprised they're not using it more. It doesn't all have to be you can add new stuff into old content. You can
They've
you
even
Yeah.
sorted it out themselves by making it have a separate leveling system, so
Yes.
it's always relevant.
I know.
It's so frustrating. They
It-
could do so much.
yeah.
Why not just go back to Pyros? I mean,
And-
I'm not even up to Pyros. I got bored, but why
Yeah,
not
you
just
never
go
finished
back?
Pagos. Yeah.
But like, even if they want to keep with the current design trend of like, you experience it, and then now and then, like when everyone's doing it, it like that's the experience they want.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, but why not some curation after that? Not like a
No.
little bit. If you can still design them that way, but like the next expansion, or maybe another one after that, you can go back to it and like
Yeah.
make some adjustments that aren't just like stat changes or like whatever bug
Exactly.
fixes, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And like the thing is, other games do this. Like, with what's that game called? Destiny. I mean, I got opinions about Destiny
Oh
too.
god.
But
Yeah.
I will say they do at least tie modern content to like old content that makes you want to do it, in like a not a bad way.
Doesn't
Most
Destiny
times.
just like remove
They
content
remove
though?
content as
They
well. yeah.
they do, but
That's
that's
a separate issue.
Yeah.
Ignore that part.
Okay.
And don't
Let's
talk
just say
about
Destiny
Gambit.
has some good ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not all
Yeah.
of them are good.
Right.
Yeah. Don't make me play Gambit anymore. Fucking hate that
Okay.
game.
Okay.
But look at what like I don't know, like Guild Wars 2 caps your level, so all the future content's sort of relevant. WoW does lose some things, but it always keeps it always gives you these like carrot on a stick rare things to aim for, and they're always farmable the next expansion, like solo. So that's always nice. Whereas in this game, it's farming old dungeons solo for like let's say you want the glamour piece isn't always that pleasant an experience, or Sometimes it's not even
usually-
possible.
You
Right.
can't you can't do it for things from last expansion usually.
No.
No.
You have to do
No.
the one before if you
Yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe you need to think about just letting us just go ham on all. If you're not going to make the old content relevant, just let us go ham on it and farm it solo.
Is there any old content that's currently kept relevant in the game that we can think of?
50, 60, 70, 80 dungeons.
They do
Yeah,
update
hey,
that every
okay.
time.
Dungeon
yeah.
raids, those are
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
gonna be a thing.
Roulette is what they keep up to date.
But even then, I find myself not being motivated to do that roulette because it doesn't give any of the like weekly tomes.
Right.
No.
Right.
I don't need it to
They-
give me
It would like
I don't need it to
discourage you.
give me a lot. But if it gave me like maybe even just 20, I'd be fine with throwing that into my rotation during a tome patch, but I just can't justify it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I already
really-
leveled everything. I'm not doing that shit anymore. You can't
Yeah.
make me.
Yeah. True.
Because it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Gold saucer, I see in chat, is also obviously something that's constantly being kept
Yeah.
relevant.
Is it though? Because a lot of
Yeah.
the time they cut old content out of it as well when they're adding
Because
in
no
their
one
new
liked
fantasy
them.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but,
gold
you
gold
know.
saucer is way more like you know, you need to have games
Modular.
that people want
Yeah.
to play,
Yeah.
and if they
And-
don't,
and-
if
Yeah,
they
it's
bomb.
like a real casino. They don't keep
That
the
is true.
games in there that people don't play.
Yeah.
It's a
But
waste
no
of
one
floor
likes
space
Air
and money.
Force One.
Yeah, that's a big mystery. I don't understand that one.
I
see-
love
see,
clicking. I feel so good.
Mhm.
I don't hate Air Force One conceptually.
How did you try
I
then?
wish it had more maps.
Yeah.
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 But it takes them a full patch cycle to add like a new gold saucer map.
Well, actually, that actually shows that Air Force One is abandoned. It's
Yeah.
just
Yes.
existing in its launch state, and it hasn't gotten any updates since.
so much content.
Yeah.
Even content they add to regularly, like Triple Triad,
Yeah.
it's kind of reached its finite state. Like it, you know, you can't make like a full 5-star deck by collecting all the cards and unlocking or whatever. The decks are always the same. You
Mhm.
can get some new cards now,
Yeah.
but there's going to be a point where like cards are just identical to each other.
I mean,
It's like stat wise.
I don't think there has been yet. I think cards are actually triple triad cards are actually, I think, one of the ways that they can keep old content relevant because they do occasionally, and it's very annoying when they do this, add new
Oh, yeah.
cards to old content.
Yes.
That I'm in favor of that though because it does give you an incentive.
Yeah,
Minions
I-
too. Chuck some new minions around.
Mm,
Why
Yeah.
not?
yeah.
More mounts.
Keeping old.
Orchestrion rolls. I don't know. Housing
Orchestrion rolls is
items.
another thing that they do because Orchestrion rolls didn't exist until towards the end of Heavensward. Every now and then, like chat's bringing it up, they add let's give them the Orchestrion roll for Halatali.
Right.
Yeah.
Let them do Halatali.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's a new one that they've been working on because they've done it for the new Eureka Orthos thing where you can earn the Adventurer plate, and they do it for the Ultimates. Why not just go back and make a themed one for like every dungeon? That's
a good
low
idea.
drop rate,
Yeah.
which means you're going to have to farm it. You're going to do roulette. You might get lucky and get something cool. And everyone has a more unique one because not everyone's got every single thing. Simple things like that. It's one piece of art. You've got the money.
Yes, you do got the money. We can't say that they don't. That's true.
Just
The question of do
think,
they have the people?
That's
They should do.
yeah, a more relevant question.
aren't they as like bigger
It's
than
Square
ever
Enix,
right now?
Mailer. They don't know how to
Well,
manage.
that's true. Yeah,
uh,
they're so bad at
Square
managing.
Enix
themselves.
only,
Yeah.
and you can only put so much on the 14
Well,
team specifically.
Yeah.
And hey,
They don't control
fully,
the amount of people they're allowed to hire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Roll on.
I fully believe that, like, time, resource, or staff and resources are finite and cannot be stretched infinitely. And obviously, we
Nice.
can't have everything we ever want. But they did it before, sort of, with
Yeah.
the diadem. I
Mhm.
applaud them for trying.
Yes.
They were
Trying.
trying up until Stormblood, I think, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm gonna say
And then-
the last iteration of the diadem was almost passable. Almost passable.
Yeah.
I definitely went in a circle and gathered items and then shot a bazooka.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
Uh,
is that the current version of the diadem, and by extension the Ishgard Restoration, is I don't think is necessarily fully irrelevant because it can be soloed. As long
It
as
can.
old
Yeah.
content can be soloed, like within reason, I'm okay with them leaving it in a certain state.
Yes, I would agree with that to an extent. If I could go back and fully solo Eureka, I don't think I'd be as against it because I know I'm not going to be able to finish it alone. And I know I'm certainly not going to be able to do Baldessian Arsenal alone. So it's very off-putting.
Yeah.
See, that's where I'm like, the difference is like, I think to a certain extent I would be okay with Baldessian Arsenal and Delubran Reginade being soloable compared to old Savages, because Savages, like, I feel exist for the challenge
that is
true. Just like normally just a weapon or glamour. Whereas like there is story tied to things like Delubran Reginade and Baldessian Arsenal.
Yeah.
Hey, I just remembered this, and I still think it's insane that they did that. Do you remember that instance before Bosja? That insane instance where you go in Fifth Memory, which was never used again.
Yeah.
Which is like the giant set piece.
Yeah.
It's a
it had all
really
those weird
cool
background bits and
like that is so crazy that was just a one-off. I mean, I was expecting that to be like a map in like Bosja.
Bosja. Yeah.
Like part of the resistance. I don't know, like going like a Sid's memory again to farm shit, something like that.
Yeah.
But no, they really just made that intricate big fucking map for one time.
Yeah.
Consider that was the equivalent of a field zone for that patch. Like for 6.25, unfortunately, we didn't get a field zone, which is what led us into the pandemic.
Yeah.
That is true.
I
think
crazy.
there are ways for them to keep some of these things alive, but I feel like on some of them they're not going in with the right attitude. Like the Savage does. I mean, no one's using Duty Finder to do Savage content.
No,
it's not a point where that can work. I don't know what they can do to keep old Savage alive, but I think making it so you can get modern items. Shut up. Modern
sorry?
I think Siri went off.
Siri.
okay.
You know, things like tomestones or tokens. Maybe you could get like tokens from old raids that you can exchange for more modern items. Something like that.
Yeah.
Just to make them a bit relevant. I really believe in the Unreal idea, making them all available, and you know, instead of adding one every patch, maybe add like 3 every patch, and just put them in a huge roulette. Why not?
I don't know if they'd be able to do that.
Just work harder.
Well, remember, we only get one trial per patch, you know?
But the trial's already done, isn't it? The fight's the same. Almost nothing's changed. They've just made sure that you can do it at the maximum level.
I don't think that's possible, but
I
still
it's a
think
bit more complicated than
I mean,
that.
yes, it would be obviously give us 100 per patch, you know, in my dream world, but they aren't going to do that.
Remember,
Mailer,
Mailer, this entire expansion, they've been updating all of the old dungeons as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do. So, but
there's a lot of little things. I mean,
to keep it within like, you know, not fantasy. Keeping the current release
but this
schedule,
is Final Fantasy,
but not removing them.
That is at least a minimum compromise.
Yeah.
Never remove content.
It's odd. Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
It's baffling.
It also goes against everything because they never remove any other content. Like they didn't even want to remove Diadem, but eventually they were like
they remove rewards.
Yeah, they remove rewards,
rewards,
but content seldom. And you could say the first part of the Rival Wings, the map there disappeared forever. Like and Weed. Actually, now that I think about it, they removed quite a bit of content. Actually,
they're just vaulting it.
Yeah,
get it out of there.
They need things like, I don't know if people are going to agree with me on this one. They need things like the Yokai Watch event that aren't fates.
I think I agree with
now you got to go to Bosja and do fates instead.
You
could
know
just do
what?
dungeons or something.
Okay, use the zones that you made. You know, why you don't have to, because it seems like in the devs' minds right now, it's like we just have to make new content to pull people in. But
Yeah.
you can do new things in familiar settings. You can still do that. You can have a part 2 to like Eureka, if you will. You can have a part 2 to Bosnia. You don't have to move on to the next big thing, because all you're going to end up with is like this like sea of like dead content. It's just like, oh, which dead content am I? I'm gonna spin the roulette and see. Well, if there was a field zone roulette, that would be interesting. I don't know how that would work, but
you have to complete 10 fates or you can't leave.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, we talked about that when Eureka was first coming out. They should have it as like a end game daily. You know, you get like hunts and quests
leaves.
And stuff to do.
We talked about leaves. But that was
something like that.
Or even
in
just
that
hunt
sort of
marks.
Yeah, just something
like your own
to get
personal ones.
tones.
Yeah.
With like even with fates, like after a while, I feel like fates die out.
Yes,
so, like,
I agree.
Maybe
with that.
like they should just do a reward that like once a day, or like you get, if you do a fate a day in a specific zone, you will get a little bit more bicolor gems.
Right.
Yeah.
Because as it is now, I have no motivation to do them because like it's just a grind, and there's no reward for doing any single amount of them. It's always going to be the same.
Yeah. Just a small incentive is enough to bring people in.
The biggest content that gets abandoned is overworld content.
Yeah.
How often are you trapped into the locks?
Right.
Or Azim Step?
That's a great idea, chat. For like hunt books, like not like the hunt books from fucking, not like the hunt logs from A Realm Reborn, where they require you to do specific fates. That's fucked. Yeah. Say you should require to do like, you need to do one fate in Elpis and one fate in Thavnair and one fate in like Lakeland.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
more weekly books. Chloe doesn't have a monopoly on books. Hers is all group content. I mean, why not have a solo book?
I wish this is a me problem, but I wish it wasn't something you had to pick up. I wish it was something that was just there.
UI element that lasts for the
I don't disagree with you.
I always forget.
Everything in this game is so
a book delivery service or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm requesting a book, Chloe. Send it over.
Yeah, can I subscribe to your book delivery service, Chloe?
Yeah, we're talking about
like the challenge
log. Yeah,
challenge log's good, but it's just XP. So
the
challenge log needs an overhaul.
Honestly, they could do it via the challenge log.
Yeah, they could. That's an existing
log
system.
At the start of every week. You could have like do one fate, like do a certain amount of fates in somewhere. But like, I don't want it to be the same every week because also.
I wouldn't Chloe.
Take
it needs to be
the
something
Chloe book
randomized
and put it into the challenge log, maybe under its own tab.
Pop up.
Yeah, make it pop up like
Because how often do you look at the challenge log?
Well, whenever the challenge log resets, it can. Yeah, well,
you're a freak.
That's right.
Freak behavior right here.
I look at achievements every day too, Mela.
Yeah,
achievements is more normal.
Okay. Anyways,
the challenge log's hard to find.
Yeah, it would be nice, like after every reset, it'll be like challenge log has been reset. Here are the new challenges or whatever.
It should pop up on Tuesday, and it's like, oh, these are your week's logbook entries.
Well, it should pop up whenever you log in after it has reset.
Yeah.
There are so many games. I mean, like I can think of like Fortnite, and it's like this is what you should do this week.
Yeah.
And like you can do that stuff without introducing a ton of FOMO too.
Yeah.
Because I think adding more FOMO to 14 is a bad idea.
Oh yeah, no FOMO, please.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah. That it makes me want to do stuff less usually.
Yeah.
FOMO doesn't need to. What they could do is reward you with one of those loot box things that can give you a random minion or amount or whatever.
Yeah. Give us things that are always relevant.
They're expensive. Get one for free once a week. Mm-hmm. Why not?
I mean, oftentimes they're going to be shit.
Yeah. But you could get something amazing.
But the thrill opening a mystery box.
People love gacha.
I love it.
And you know what people love more than gacha? Free gacha.
That's true.
It would be so simple. Or you could have milestones. And like you can, you get a couple of boxes a week if you do all of the milestones. It doesn't have to be hard.
Yes.
Chloe Battle Pass.
No. If it doesn't expire, sure.
Yeah.
Or if it's
No, it can
super
expire,
easy.
but nothing in it should be like exclusive to the
Yeah,
battle pass.
no exclusives.
And it has to be longer. If it's gonna expire, please, I need more than a week. I don't do
Or it can
Chloe's
just be
challenges
super
on the day.
simple.
It could be they could do it each patch cycle.
Yeah.
It could go to 100 steps. There could be 100 different things you have to do.
I mean, the
And,
thing
like,
is,
none of them have content.
they're already kind of halfway there with the Moogle Tombstone events, you could say.
Yeah.
Or you can almost say it's kind of like a battle pass. You just have to
In a way,
rack
yeah.
up their own numbers.
Yeah.
Like, why not flesh out that system like a little bit? You know, like there are so many simple things, and I mean, I'm sure half the stuff we say maybe not even possible, or would be good maybe when we're not fucking game designers. But like, they
No.
definitely have the ability. I think if they so desire to do it, they can do it. They
Yeah.
are very talented developers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do think with I think a weekly mini battle pass Chloe style thing could easily work as well, though, because it's so you don't have to do it if you don't want,
Yeah.
but you know, Chloe is
can
something you can do in
Okay,
one day.
I'm gonna say the Chloe book is 2 weeks. The reason I never finished them is because there's no reminder. It's like I log in one day and I was like, you have to work to do your daily. Like you have to find what your dailies are.
Yeah.
It's like
It's in your key items, which isn't even in your base
Right.
inventory.
yeah,
The
it-
game needs to signpost you more.
Yeah. And there's so many
it's
shit that
basic.
pops up when you log in anyway, and most of it's
Yeah,
like
I don't need to know about open.
I don't need to open the
website.
player guide. I have like 90 million hours in the
Layla,
game. I don't need it.
yeah.
Mela, I
You
need
should
to know
Google that by now, come
exactly
on.
what options are available to me in the zone that I log into.
That would be amazing.
And you know that
They do that, but
achievement
it's
I
not
can
good.
get.
It's not
Yeah.
good. Or
Yeah.
maybe when you go into it, well, I don't know, maybe be obtrusive to go into it. But you could have the bottom right, thing that popped like when you
Chat.
get friend requests. You
I
could just pop
joke.
it there,
I
like,
don't.
what to do in this zone.
Sorry, I don't have the fucking pop-ups turned on. I'm saying they show all this
Because they're
random. You can
useless.
have all these random pop-ups pop up. Why not a daily like this is your Chloe book? Like,
Yeah.
remind me. You know.
People do
Chloe
things
is a
if
thing
they are
we've-
reminded of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chloe is a thing we have had since Heavenswood, and it's a good idea, but like, it's so annoying
Yeah.
that you have to go to idle shit every week if you want to pick up a new book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she yaps on at you. Oh, you didn't do last week's book. That's a shame. Oh,
This
here's a
book
new
looks
book.
like
This
fucking
book's
shit.
too old. I can't
Yeah.
use this book anymore.
There-
And
there-
then
Don't
you
forget
get it,
this
and it's
time.
like, oh,
But you know what-
okay, so it's got some easy content. I'll do that first, and I forget about it.
You
and
know
I'll
what they
never
did
finish it.
add though? They did add the fucking zone like achievement pop-up that shows up that you can't turn off.
That's useful, to be fair.
Yeah, but that one we get, but we don't get like it's so weird the stuff they choose to like present to us. It's odd. I just find it odd. Yeah, there you go. Anything else?
Fucking 4 old men ranting at the video game.
Yeah.
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 Well, we've really got into this decade of our lives.
Yeah.
We're
That
just
would be
crotchety
such a-
now.
I mean, that's kind of like a band-aid chat, but like even just having a Chloe representative in every city-state would be nice.
That
Yeah.
would be fine.
That too.
But
But
please,
then maybe Idleshire
unlock
would
it.
die.
In Idleshire, and then it's part of your
Shirley
UI.
is fucking dead.
Well, it's
What?
alive.
Who cares?
Chloe is keeping Idleshire alive.
There'll
Arguably.
never be back in the
Consi-
days when you could jump on that funny bit of like stone and stand above everyone else to kill. They'll never be back like those days.
Right,
anymore.
right. That's true. I used
Sometimes
to
I see people crafting that, and I think,
when
I'm
I
sorry
I
for you.
remember the days when I was like waiting for the duty roulette to pop and I just walked in a circle around Idleshire.
I was so good.
Memories.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as good when you did it in Railga's Reach.
No.
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 Ralgo's Reach was the beginning. Of
There was
That
no
was,
chill spot
that-
for
No.
No.
Ralger's Reach.
And where is the chill spot now? No, because they've got two cities.
And Ralger's Reach didn't
You have to
have
separate
a
them.
satisfying circle in the
No.
same way.
No.
So
Because there's water.
yeah.
Yeah, Ralger's was bad.
Yeah.
But then everything after that's been even worse because they split you up so much.
Yes.
Well,
I don't
I
need
think-
2 cities every expansion.
Okay. Now
no, I don't need 2 cities every expansion, but I do.
Now
I
it's
do
boomer
like
talk.
Yulmore and
I like
yeah,
exploring them. Look, come on, man.
I don't like new things when they do that.
Fucking boomer
yeah.
hour. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ralger's toy is best. That's actually an agreeable point because Revenant's Toll was part of an actual zone.
Yeah, but there's a reason they never did that again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Idleshire was definitely like the last of its kind of like endgame zone. That shit was like
now it's just Limpser again.
Yeah.
So honestly, the fact that Idleshire was like the last of its kind, it kind of bummed me out because I was always expecting them to like renovate Rauga's Reach.
Right?
Stormblood, and it never happened. It was just forever a ruin.
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think
And
that's
those people at the bottom of Yulmore still live in like just a
in
shanty.
Gate Town. Yeah.
Hey, listen, it takes time, okay? We gotta. They will live in the slums in the meantime.
What the hell's China's doing?
no, I don't know. Yeah, Rollo.
I guess my final thing, just to sum it all up, is that like if you've worked so hard to make all this cool zones and content and mechanic, why not keep it relevant?
Agreed.
Add on to it, and don't just make content that's born to die. You know?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I think you've been incredibly fortunate with how popular this MMO is in the market we have today.
Okay.
And I think that
Count your blessings, Yoshi.
I think I know 14 has a good formula.
It clearly has. It's one of the most popular MMOs in the world.
It is a good formula, but it's also very predictable. And I just think I just shake it up every now and then a bit more and just keep things relevant. Otherwise, you know.
I would say one of 14's greatest strengths, but also one of its greatest weaknesses, is that it's its predictability.
Yeah.
And I just have to mention this because we haven't mentioned it yet. One way to keep old content alive, we kind of mentioned it in the Eureka stuff, but you have the leave system. For God's sakes.
Leaves. No one uses leaves anymore because there's nothing to leave.
It was supposed to be revolutionary when it came out, and you abandoned it. Don't.
Why did you make it so all of the battlements give like 3 XP?
Yeah. The big nerf made no sense. I don't understand why they did it. But
also, how dare you? Leaves are still relevant. I'm out here doing every single leave in the game.
Well, I'm not saying that. Yeah, but you are.
It's
You have
insane.
to understand at this point that what Mela said earlier.
Yeah.
I will not say it.
I
but
mean,
Mela
I'm with
said
you
it.
because I like the ticks.
Right.
But you're not going to do them again, are you?
No.
Absolutely not.
Exactly. But I'm not saying that. I mean, you can say that because you're doing it. They're relevant, but leaves can be a tool to keep other things relevant. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I said this a while ago. I said when we first talked about Eureka and Bosnia, why don't you make leaves in here?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Or hunt logs. Once you're level capped in Bosnia, you can still get more experience to do that thing that makes you stronger somehow. And then,
Valor
like
stuff.
the whole zone's available to you, so you can make any of the mobs the target.
100% agree. And I think Yoshi P has just made a choice. That is 1.0 content, and I will not dirty my game any longer with it. And that's sad because that could have been really
he made
great.
guild tests and he abandoned them.
That's true. Well, look at all of the stuff we have right now that we love. Island Sanctuary, Criterion Dungeons. Let's see which one's still relevant next expansion. Let's see how much longer they last for.
See, I like Island Sanctuary. People already don't love Criterion Dungeons because the rewards are shit.
Yeah.
The rewards are shit.
That's the thing.
And every boss is the same.
Yeah.
12 paragraphs worth of text as a reward isn't enough.
I think the dungeon's really good. I enjoy doing it. Those rewards are ass.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a problem with rewards.
A glamour log.
They seem to not know. Sometimes they'll like make you too motivated to do something, and sometimes they'll give you no motivation at all to do something.
Yeah.
But then the motivation's all over the place. Like, 4 runs of Eureka Orthos to get one of the coolest mounts in the game. That's a challenge, but it's pretty cool. Or 1,000 frontline victories for 10 achievement points.
Balanced as everything should be.
Yeah. That's true.
See, but the thing is, Mela, with how you need to do 4 runs to get the tiger from Eureka Orthos, you can sacrifice one of those and make yourself do it a 5th time because the Eureka Orthos Framers kit does not count. If you don't get one of the accessories, you will need to do that one more time because you need to have all 4 accessories to get
Okay.
Aeternus or whatever
That
its
is
name
true.
is.
All right.
Eternus.
All right.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, it
That
is.
is the coolest
cool.
mount they've added in like 10
I mean,
years.
you beat it up. Well, you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Please stay alive next time.
We're doing our best, Mailer. It's just like we can't survive more than one hit, and then when we see something that we didn't expect, it's too late.
yeah, Mail has many second chances during a fight. We do not.
Stay apart at least.
Yeah.
We did
were.
stay apart. We died on opposite sides of the arena at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. That's. I think that's it. There's no like conclusion to this because I mean we're.
I just think you're not going to. Obviously, your piece not going to take on board our ideas. It's just spitballing cool ideas. But I really
This is
do
why
think
we all need to go to FanFest and we
Yeah.
surround him in a corner.
A
And we
corner
shout
him.
ideas at him.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I have a good idea about the video game.
I'm going to take all his rings off, and he's
Yeah.
not getting them back until he has a glamour log.
Give me your cigarette. Stop smoking that. Listen to me.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, don't listen to us. We're a bunch of fucking losers.
Yeah. Of course.
But like, you can take inspiration
listen.
from what other games are doing. Like
Yeah.
that's steal.
Yeah.
Stealing normal.
Please.
I mean, that's how 14 got it. Like 14 2.0 became successful. You
Yes.
you decided.
14
Okay, let's
is the most
stop looking at-
successful WoW clone.
Okay.
let's
That's.
Like it or
looking
not.
at the-
Like it or not.
No. You do not get to say WoW clone, but
It was part of that
WoW
era.
style game.
it is it used that style though. That,
Yeah,
I will
which
say.
was what all those games were
Yeah.
called, WoW clones.
Yeah. Well, WoW
That was
clones.
just the terminology.
Yeah.
I think we just call them tab target MMOs now.
Yeah, they're tab target MMOs now.
No, because there was
Because
always a
WoW
difference
does no
between things
longer
like
have
EverQuest
that
and-
unchallenged crown anymore, so we don't say that anymore. But yeah, they're
Yeah, we
tab
still
target
call it
at the
MMOs.
time.
We still call them like Metroidvania games.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but WoW
these are
clone
and
is
we
a
call them
derogatory
Souls-like.
term
Yeah.
now. It's negative.
When 2.0 came out, it was the king.
Yeah.
This is a WoW clone.
I mean, I
It's
don't
the
even like
style of game.
WoW, and I just don't think I don't think it's an insult.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to
No,
be
it's
an
not
insult.
an insult.
By
It's a
WoW, are you
descriptor of the
saying
type
me
of
that when
game
you
it
play
is.
WoW and someone said, "Have you played the latest WoW clone?" You went, "Oh, that's a great idea."
It's just
Or
because
did
it
you
was
go,
a style
"Ha,
of game.
another one"?
When WoW came out and became as successful as it was, it spawned thousands of knockoff games that were all the same general style of game. They had the big exclamation
I
marks.
can't believe we're discussing
They
this.
had
I just know
the UI
Mela has a
looks- it
huge
felt the same.
like Blizzard boner right now. I don't know why.
It's
The
just what they're
mount,
called.
the mount in Eureka
I mean-
Orthos, Mela saying that WoW is like our like favorite non-14 like MMO at the beginning.
It's
You
the
could
only
tell.
other MMO.
You could tell that Mela's been on a
It's the
big
only one that
Blizzard journey
survived.
Do you
recently.
think we're going to start talking about EVE Online?
Let's
We
talk
could.
about
Yeah.
EVE
WoW
Online. Hey,
I love spreadsheets. I think we should do corporate espionage.
we played
I love
EVE
that.
Online a while
Yeah,
back.
we made a corporation and then did nothing because
Because
it's
it
too
was
complicated.
It was jarring.
Yeah.
um,
Albion
Why are you
Online?
bringing up EVE Online? It's not a WoW clone.
No,
Well,
it's not. But I don't know. What
it's just a game.
That's just the genre. That's
Yeah.
that's
It's
just what
just
they're
a
called.
game.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
technically,
just
it's
an
tab target.
MMO.
Yeah, I'm just talking about MMOs now. Let's talk about MMOs. Okay, let's
I'd
call it a
love
WoW
to
clone.
talk
I don't
about
care.
MMOs.
It's
We're not
whatever.
talking about Age of Wushu.
Stop denying me what I deserve.
Ugh, stop. Okay.
Don't worry, Waller. There'll be a new Wushu game soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, yeah, the hero has a better definition in chat, but we're not going to go into that now. Call it whatever you want. We'll be back. That's the end of the show. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidelin, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, exclamation Discord in chat if you're watching on Discord, which you shouldn't if you're watching live. No, if you're watching on demand, links in the description. Stumbled my way through that.
If you've got any ideas of, what we've discussed in a great discussion, pop it in the comments or.
Why would
send
you
them
pop it in the comments? We wouldn't read
Why
it
not?
on the show.
We read the comments.
I read the.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
no,
not.
but we-
Just it's engagement,
Like,
Mikhail.
it's engagement.
Don't pop anything in the comments. I want zero
Pop them in the
comments on this
comments.
latest episode.
I want-
if you have ideas for great discussions, put them in the comments or send it in as a MogMail.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
But know that if you're pooping it in the comments, we're not going to read it on the show. Okay? So
No, we're not.
The
But we'll read it
viewers,
still.
okay.
Thank you.
End the show,
everyone.
Lakil.
Bye.